Hey, what's up, guys? This is Woodie Landeros. You guys are listening to Shut Up and Fail. I'm here today with Jose Montero, entrepreneur and owner of Blue Social. So how's it going, Jose?
It's going great. How are you doing, Woody?
Good, good. So I want to give you a moment to kind of tell people who you are exactly. So right now they only know Jose Montero, Blue Social. Kind of give us a little
Yeah, a little bit.
sprinkle some light on it.
Yeah, of course, man. My name is Jose Montero, and I'm the CEO of Blue Social. I was actually born in San Antonio, Texas, and raised here in Riverside, California. I studied business and marketing at Riverside Community College. Ended up actually dropping out and going into sales and starting a lot of ideas and cool tech stuff.
Nice. I actually just read today that you were from Texas.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did not even know that.
Yeah, actually born there, and then I didn't get a chance to live there. My parents moved away before I was 2 years old.
Hmm. Nice. So, what type of sales did you do?
I did like multi-level marketing, and I also worked as a manager at LA Fitness, managing about 8 to 10 sales employees at a time.
Nice. So you also, I wasn't actually planning to bring up the fitness part, but give us also another circle around the fitness part for a second.
Yeah, man. Well, fitness has been a huge, part of my life. It's more of a lifestyle nowadays. I was introduced to it freshman year, and ever since, it's been kind of like my second home where I go and kind of like release and feel free and pure from working out. And they say, your mind and body is one, and you got to really work at both of them.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if for you listeners, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I wake up at 3:30 every morning, work out from 4 to 5:30, and I feel like if I don't do that, my whole day is messed up. I cannot handle the day. My girlfriend's always like, "Did you work out? Because you're acting a little different, you know."
Yeah,
And
man.
obviously, you still keep up. For those of you guys that are watching the video portion, but kind of tell us, how your daily routine goes. Because if you're running an app and then you're also socializing and going to events, and then you're working, what does your daily schedule look like? How do you even handle that?
Right, right. Well, it varies a lot. Everything's very spontaneous. When you're an entrepreneur, when it comes to like meetings, so like you'll wake up, get a good breakfast in, get a workout, and then after that you start your day. I usually like working out in the mornings because it gets your energy going, and then throughout the day I'll have some meetings. I've been meeting a lot with Riverside County. We're being used as the Riverside official social app for Riverside Innovation Month this month
Oh,
of
wow.
April. So that's been
Congratulations, man.
Thank you, thank you. So that's pretty exciting, and throughout the whole day is just meetings, studying, working on the app, working with my team, my developers. So it's not just all me by myself working on this project. Actually, I have a whole team of 5 other individuals who are helping me, and couldn't have done it without them for the past 2.5 years.
Wow, that's awesome. Having a team is so important. Going back to the first podcast, recording with Joseph, people see Joseph as like a figure, but then you like break it down, and you've got the coach, you've got the health expert, you've got the parents for the mental support. You have all these different arms moving in different ways and pushing forward, and I feel like you have a very strong team. I've been watching you just doing, just going out there and being confident enough to showcase your stuff is beautiful.
Yeah,
People are
man.
gonna pay. People are paying attention. It's
Thank you.
happening.
Thank you, Woody. Yeah, man. It's definitely not easy, man. Going out there and pitching your vision to the world and to the city and the county. And you never know what to expect because, I've been told that it's a stupid idea that, that it's never going to work. But then I've also been told, man, like this is $1 billion idea.
Yeah,
I want to see it happen kind of thing. And so you kind of get the best of both worlds when you go out there and just put yourself out there like yourself right now, what you're doing with all these podcasts.
yeah. It's scary. I think I've said it in the past too. It is scary. Like just putting your face out there and saying that this is my opinion or this is my art and open for criticism is scary. But I was actually just reading. I should have wrote down who the author was, and this is probably gonna look really bad on me. But you
No,
probably know. The art of not giving a fuck.
The subtle art of not giving a fuck.
There we go. You see, I'm messing up already.
Yeah, I'm not too
But I
sure
just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, not sure of the author, but actually, my sister was just recommending me that book yesterday. And
It's really good. It just makes you feel like everybody's paying attention, but at the same time, they're not.
yeah,
You know, like it's such a weird like limbo that people go through.
well,
Like,
yeah. Well, if you think about it, man, how you said, you feel like everyone's paying attention, but at the same time, they're not. Really, like, we all have that feeling when we go out there and we're going to, we're networking or we're going to just
yeah,
talking to people. You feel like they're trying to criticize you or trying to like point out every little thing about you or see every little detail. But in reality, what they are seeing is really a reflection of what you see as yourself. And it's very interesting when you start to see the world that way, that the world is just a mirror, a reflection of your thoughts and your ideas and your perspective. And when you start to put that the mind, into your mind and understanding the psychology about that, then the world becomes your playground and you get to, create and change and morph the world in the way you want.
yeah. I just pulled out my book because what you just said kind of hit like a quote. I don't know if you go through those things, but you hear something, you're like, I know that quote. I know where that's from. The words that follow, I am, follow you.
Exactly.
So,
And
I mean, it's
uh,
just, I had for a second, I would tell myself, I, you know, I'm not staying committed, or I'm jumping around too much, or I have my hands in too many places. And then I look at my brand and it's literally exactly what I said I am. Like I am this. And it's
exactly.
just trying to like change the words that are after that. It's
Yeah, it's amazing because even in the Bible, it says, "I am that I am," and and really the words that come out of your mouth, life and death is in the tongue, and you got to be careful. And not many
mm,
people are careful with the words they say or they speak into existence because you're right. If you say I am tired, then you'll be tired. If you
mm-hmm.
say today's a bad day, then it's gonna be a bad day. But
Yeah.
if you say today's a great day, or I am wealthy, I am healthy, I am fit, I am all of the above, then your life will start to kind of
Manifest
m-
destiny.
exactly
Yeah.
manifest itself in your own words.
Yeah. I had presented this idea. Well, we actually created together, Rebecca and I. My girlfriend's name is Rebecca, for those of you guys that don't know. We created this whole idea together with Woody's Journey. And the first thing that she realized was when people asked me, what do you do for a living? I said, well, I did real estate, and then I also did a bit of clothing, and then I did music, and I guess I kind of do that. I had maybe like a paragraph. And she said, no, you are an online investor.
Online investing.
Done. Or pick something else.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not okay with that, but just have one thing and like, have a set course or else you're
Right.
just scatterbrained. And like, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta keep it simple. It just made me think. If someone asked me what I do, I just go and start off rambling everything I do about the company, everything.
Yeah.
But in reality, what I do is I love making friends.
Mm.
And that's really, the vision and mission behind our company too, is to build a world of friends.
Yeah.
And just
Yeah.
keep it
That
simple.
goes along with your guys' slogan, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So going back to just your career, your daily day basis, what's the thing that you're most excited about in your career or that you love to do the most? I know you said connecting with friends, right?
Right. Yeah. So I love to do that, but in terms of like my career, I definitely, I just love waking up every day knowing that I'm chasing my dream. And I didn't start this company for the money. I started it because I saw an opportunity to create something that will be of value to many people.
Yeah.
And so, waking up and just knowing that I'm living my dream is all I can ask for it, really.
Yeah. And by waking up and doing this every single day, pushing forward, I mean, what kind of achievements have, like, I'm going to give you a moment or a spotlight moment to be able to say that, I have done this or Blue Social has done this. Just kind of throw it out there.
Yeah. So, Blue Social, well, I'm gonna take it back to just a little bit of kind of like how this all started, because
Yeah.
some of you guys don't even know really what Blue Social is or even how this idea even happened to me. So if you don't mind,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
kind
Go
of
for it.
start. So, Blue Social, the idea kind of came to me when I was studying at Riverside Community College. And I noticed three observations that really stuck out to me while attending it. The first observation was that when I was walking around campus, I noticed that everyone was not socializing and just on their smartphones. And they were most likely probably on social media. And so it made me start to think, does social media really make us less social? And 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 so I just started like thinking about that and pondering about that observation. And the second observation I made was every time I made a new friend, instead of asking me for my phone number, they would ask me, "Hey, you got an Instagram or you got a Snapchat
Yeah.
or a Facebook?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." And then we'd exchange that information. So
Hmm.
that I thought that was quite interesting. And then the third observation was when I was in class, surrounded by other students, I kind of it kind of just dawned on me that literally every single student that was around me has an online identity,
Mm.
but there was no way of knowing who's who or knowing that information without having to walk up to the individual and ask. And so I was like, man, there had to be a better way to connect the physical and the digital worlds online.
Yeah.
And so, those three observations came to me, and I wrote the idea down in 2012. And just like all of you guys, I did nothing with it. I didn't do anything with it for 3 years, but it was just sitting in my journal. And within those 3 years, I was doing sales and marketing and so forth. And at the end, at I would say the middle of 2015, after I left my job at LA Fitness, my good old friend Louis Yamas actually just left his job in Texas and he moved back to California. So we met up and we just started talking and we started to have the talk, the talk about life, the talk
Yeah.
about how are we gonna make money, how are we gonna provide for our
Hmm.
families, what are we gonna do,
Yeah.
right?
I have that
And
talk every day.
yeah, man, it's amazing, man. It's a power of masterminds,
Yeah.
and so we started bouncing ideas off each other, and back and forth, back and forth. And as I was going through all my ideas of notes that I have in my phone, I noticed when I came across this idea of blue, it was the only idea that had a star next to it. And when I saw it, Woody, it's hard to explain, but I got like this instant chills down my spine. Of it was like the chills of assurance, like this
Yeah.
is it. And I had no idea what it was,
Yeah.
but I just knew there
But it's
was
gonna happen.
yeah, but I knew there was
Yeah.
something there. And so I told Lewis the idea. He's like, Jose, that's a great idea, but how are you gonna do it?
Yeah.
You don't know how to code, you don't know how to, you know, build a company, you're not in the tech space, how
Hmm.
are you gonna do it? And I said, Lewis, I don't need to know how, I just need to know why. And
Mm.
my why is to really retire my mom. My why is to be an inspiration to individuals who are always put down by others because then maybe they dream too big. And then my why is to really just to make a difference and be and make a dent in the universe really, and be someone that other people can look up to. And
It's beautiful.
because of that, the last over the course of 2.5 years, I built a beautiful team of amazing individuals. And we have Eric and Lauren Ocean who both worked with Apple, Nike, Google. We have my father who's graduated from MIT, went to School of Business, and and then we also have Mario Contreras, who's our pretty much our designer. He's designed the screens, the apps, our website. Then we have Kristen Montero, my sister, actually, who's helping with all the marketing. And so with this whole team, it kind of formed through the law of attraction, and by selling my vision to people, and just keep talking about it, talking about the idea. And within the last 2.5 years, we were top 10 finalists for a Techos Angels fast pitch competition in Orange County. And then last year in 2017, we won Riverside's Innovation Fast Pitch Competition, won first place.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. And, that put us, we got free office space, and, the county's been doing a really great job supporting us from that. And then now we're now Riverside Innovation's official social app of the events. And so now we're just moving forward, about to release our newest version. And, it's been going ever since.
Yeah. So, man, that's a crazy journey. That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome, especially that you're showing it. I'm sure going through this, it was not always, I'm gonna say, positive or a success story. I mean, find one thing for me. This is a hard question. It's the hardest question in the entire podcast. Find your biggest failure and then let me know what it is.
Well, my biggest failure, I guess I wouldn't call it a failure, but it was more of like a setback.
Yeah.
Um, One of my biggest ones was, with development and, so let me take a step back. So I guess one of my biggest setbacks is being able to, I prom, I guess, promising people that we were going to release a new version, and with development, it kind of led us not being able to release it in time. And so when I joined this, I thought I was gonna have 6 months and then it would be out and all good, out on the market and people would be using it. But 2.5 years later, we're still in development. We have people using it. We've had over 7,000 people use it, but it's not the full version that I'd expect to have out just yet.
Yeah.
And so my biggest setback was I kept promising people the new version is coming, is coming, is coming. And I kept letting people down and down and down. And it really put a toll on me for a good while, where I didn't even want to really bring up Blue about, or bring Blue up to anyone,
Yeah.
or even talk about it, because I kind of was just waiting for the next release that we were going to have and we're still going to have. And so
You were in a level of the same word that I've always said is analysis paralysis. And it's like I I don't know if you've kind of been following me throughout my career, like because I haven't really posted anything online about the things I do, but I do tell my friends about them. And like I've created multiple businesses, and they've like completely went left field, and I gave up on them, and I didn't continue on because I felt like I didn't know what I was doing. And you go through this little phase that you feel like people are looking at you again, and you feel like you failed them, so you don't want to do it again. I didn't even talk to my graphic designer
mm,
because I was afraid that I was going to make another company or another thing that wasn't going to make it. And I would be so convinced that every single thing was the one. And so I made Till 4 a.m., Gold Kills, Future Life Films, Lucy Vending, Gray Square. I can name like 3 or 4 more, and they all quote unquote failed, which I think that every failure is just a life lesson. If it's
yeah,
expensive, it's called an expensive life lesson.
yeah,
Everything is a life lesson.
exactly.
So I went through that whole thing, and I had a point where I didn't even tell my mom. Actually, Woodie Landeros, like the website and Woody's Journey and Shut Up and Fail, I didn't even show my mom for a while because I was afraid that it was going to be another thing like, oh, you're going to be the next marathon runner, or you're going to be the next big dancer on So You Think You Could Dance. Like, ugh.
Right,
And I just stayed quiet, and everybody was like, are you okay? And I
right,
was hiding.
right. And I think that's okay, because they say, show it before you tell it.
Hmm.
And I think when I started my career and started Blue, I started telling about it and talking about it, and I think that's necessary. But then I was over promising and under delivering,
Hmm.
and I think what we need to do is really under promise and over deliver.
Yeah. So how did you deal with that? You just go to the gym a lot? You just got
Oh
buff
yeah,
like this?
oh yeah. The gym's for sure my way of relief from all this. But really, how I keep going is just I leave it out. It's not up to me.
Hmm.
It's up to the universe or God, or the energy, or whatever you believe in. It's out of our control. And I'll kind of like talk about it, like before my launch event that I had March 1st. I was stressing out. It was very, very hard to put it all together. We were having challenges and problems leading up to it. And the night of, while taking a shower, I literally broke down, and
Hmm.
it's my first time breaking down in a while, but I
Hmm.
just felt so stressed, and it just got to me.
Yeah.
But after that, after I cried out, and I actually felt really good because I decided that it wasn't up to me.
So what was that? What was that thought like? Going back to that, because I know sometimes we tell ourselves certain things in our heads that it builds up, and then you break out. Frustrations lead to breakthroughs. Like
Yeah.
what was that word or that statement that you were telling yourself? Like what did you repeat in your head? Because I know it's repetition, and it's just like a driving like little keeps on hitting in there.
I kept telling myself everything happens for a reason and it's not up to me. And after I got out of the shower and I started brushing my teeth, in on my bathroom mirror, and back in 2015, I actually wrote on my mirror, "The next generation social networking tool, $1 billion idea," and it's still there 3 years later. And when I saw it, I just I I felt like I wanted to sign it
Mm-hmm.
because it's just I was just feeling so good, and I knew that that mirror is invaluable of itself because of what it has on it,
Yeah.
and after that, the next day, which was our launch event, it just couldn't have gone more perfect than it was. It was supposed to rain and it didn't. It was clear skies. Everyone was able to see the city. We had music playing, all the guests. We had over 150 people come to our event, and it was just an extraordinary experience. When you let things go out of your control and you just go with the flow and kind of embrace what's coming to
Yeah.
next.
It's like I always try to figure out how do you like teach that or how do you explain that to someone, but you really just have to go through it and shut up and fail before, you're allowed and
Exactly.
succeed. And it's just there you just have to go through it.
Yeah, you just got to go through the hard times, and you just got to have faith that it's all going to work out in the end. I mean, what's the worst thing you can happen from trying something? I mean, if you look at it, and I know it's not talked upon about a lot, but if you really start to have the mindset that death isn't all that bad and that death can come and go whenever, then you got to start looking at each day as if it's your last day. And you just got to live the day. If today was your last day, how would you act? How would you talk to people? How would you feel at your job? I'm sure you'd feel different if you knew today was your last day.
I
And
gotta go. Just kidding.
and
I'm gonna go to
and
France.
I'm sure you just have a different perspective
Yeah.
out in life when you start to look at things that way.
Yeah. I think like that too. I feel like we have similar mindsets at times.
We
I
100% do,
I
man.
look over at you and I see you like in a parallel universe, in an app universe, and then I'm like over here like trying to figure out my life. But I always see it like, man, I don't know if people are like opening up their eyes, but I know Jose's onto something. Like he's over there and he's moving, and people might even be afraid of it or looking and saying, "Oh, what are you doing?" But we're onto something, man.
Yeah, man, and it's a good feeling. It's I don't know what it is that we're onto, but it's something great, and the world's gonna be able to see it one day
Yeah,
in all their eyes, and it's manifesting itself.
yeah,
It's amazing. How this idea all kind of started from an idea from myself, through myself, I would say, not from myself, but through me, and then next thing you know, built a team, got friends and family involved and started supporting, and now we got the whole county. What's next?
yeah.
The world. I
Hmm.
mean, the sky's the limit, and we just got to keep moving forward, taking it day by day.
So if you were talking to Jose when he first started, what sentence or what piece of advice would you give him? And it was just like a small little bit, and it just really look back at yourself. He's standing right there in front of you, and you have to tell him this.
You're not gonna get it done in 6 months. You better have fucking patience. That's what I would tell
Have
him.
patience. So now
For
I'm going to
sure.
give you another hard question. What advice would you give me? And be 100% honest with me. I won't take it to heart, but I will take it to action. But give me a piece of advice.
Piece of advice. Hmm. Well, I mean, you took the first step, starting to put content out and brand yourself and all that. I mean, you've always been a smart individual. I've always seen you chase your passion and try new things. I guess what advice would be to stick to this podcast, and I want to see this podcast going in 2, 3 years
There we
still,
go.
and I better see thousands and thousands of people that you've interviewed, and you're gonna have millions of followers, but stick through it. I would stick
That's
stick with
awesome.
it.
Thank you for that. And then if you could sum up your career in one word, what would that one word be?
Sum up my career in one word. Hmm. I would say blue.
Blue. So now I'm gonna give you a chance to tag yourself, to just plug yourself in with any ats, any websites.
Yeah.
Shout out to mama.
Yep. Shout out to my team, my family, and friends who have supported me through this whole journey the past 2.5 years. You could check out our website at www.blue.social. Social is the extension, pretty cool. My Instagram is @_Jose_Montero. That kind of goes for all my other social networks, so you kind of find me there. And yeah, I appreciate you having me on this podcast, Woody. It's been a great time, and seeing you grow from the very little times that we've had, or very little, I mean, as in like we went to elementary school together,
Mm-hmm.
and growing up, it's this is all a journey, and I'm glad to share it with you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm happy that you were able to make it today.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening to Shut Up and Fail. That was Jose Montero, owner of Blue Social.